Guys, Matthew Noble's trying to get up my ass. Can you believe that? I'll tell you what. It's a crazy world. Anyways, whatever Noble's interest may be in Garcia and Devin Haney, about a month ago when the fight was, we started talking in some comments and talked about how Ryan should have made weight. Didn't make weight. Then I think as all of us keep up with boxing know, shortly thereafter, it was about a week away, Ryan popped for that Osti, whatever it is, it begins with an O. As all of us know, his the B sample always, it's literally never in the history has the B sample ever come up different than the A sample. But so let's figure this out, Noble. Let's make sure we're all on the same page too. Let me ask you something. Why didn't the athletic commission governing the fight find a failed sample? Or let me ask you this. Who let you know that Ryan had a tainted sample? I can tell you who let you know, and who let whatever avenue you came out with that information. I can tell you where that information originally came from, and that's from Devin Haney. The athletic commission never came out that Ryan tested positive. It's actually VADA who did all this, and VADA then informed Devin Haney, supposedly, and then that's where we're at now. And then Ryan basically confirmed it by being like, yeah, this is a bunch of crap, I don't know what's going on. So that in itself is something of relevance that we have to take into consideration, and it's also something that doesn't make any sense in boxing. You have an athletic commission there for a reason and for a purpose, and now you have another one involved who does not have any jurisdiction over any of the fighters or the commission or anything. It would be like I walked in there and took a sample and decided to test people and got them to agree to let me test them. So that whole thing is kind of wishy-washy, and we're getting a lot of misinformation based off opinions. So someone we might find credible, and we'd be surprised how many people are not credible that will speak on this. For example, commentators on ESPN, on SportsCenter, stuff like that. They're just going off the news that they see, and they're not realizing the details of where it came from. I lost where I was even going with that. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a 12-hour shift. All right. So you get tested or whatever, it doesn't come back, comes back. There's a couple other things we need to take into consideration with this. Where was I going with the credibility thing? Oh, it's like if Devin Haney is the first one that comes out, he says VADA tells him, but VADA doesn't publicly come out and do that, to say both sides do. Ryan awkwardly is like, yeah, apparently so. I don't even think he said yeah. He just said, no, I didn't, and if I did, I would quit boxing. And you would notice a lot more legality and stuff happening if this was like through the commission and everything, but it's not. It's just awkward, and it's probably a ploy to get people talking about it more by Devin Haney. Just so you know. For example, like what we're doing right now. Here it's a month after the fight, and we're still saying Devin Haney's name. Looks like he did pretty good if that's what he's trying to do. But let me ask you this. So if he popped for, we're not even going to get into what that drug is and the times that has shown up in other athletes or anything. I'm not going to ask anyone if they've looked into all that, but that's fine. That is whatever. What would you want the resolution to be? What would you want to happen? Make the fight a no contest. Are you aware of everything that's going to be involved when you make the fight a no contest? Are you going to be aware of everything that you do if you completely overturn the win and make it where it's disqualification? Are you aware of the revenue changes and everything involved in that? Are you aware of the contractual agreements that were signed and agreed to prior to going into this fight that have everything to do with that? I'm going to go ahead and say the answer is no. None of us do, because none of us are the ones that signed the contract. So there's going to be details in this that we don't know, but the average people aren't going to, they're not going to be into it. But do you want to see Devin fight Ryan again? And please don't say, yeah, if he makes weight. Devin knew he wasn't going to make weight. That's why Devin wanted to, he's like, hey, give me $500,000 for every pound you miss. He already knew it. This is a money fight. Devin wanted the opportunity. Devin got the opportunity. Ryan gave it to him, and Ryan gave him an ass whooping because Ryan is actually going and fighting people in boxing. All these fights getting booked, all these top names getting booked. Number one, it stems from Jake Paul. Then Jake Paul, the first one he went after was Garcia. Him and Garcia end up becoming friends, and now Garcia's going through people. Garcia's wanting real fights, and Garcia's making it happen. He ended up coming up short against Tank, and that's working against him. But then, bam, jumps in with Devin Haney. No one else is doing that. Do you think... Now, Garcia already missed weight, so he didn't even take the belt from Devin Haney. Devin Haney, as a champion, chose to defend his belt against someone who didn't make weight, and then gets a benefit by the WBO or WBC, whichever dumbass commission, whichever dumbass organization it is, to keep the belt 12 hours after the fight, which has never ever been done before. It's never ever been done before like that. That's absolutely insane. And it's because your program and association looks completely stupid because you went after a fighter, got called out, the fighter didn't make the weight, you still accepted the fight, and you got completely plowed over. Your champion got plowed over. So what do you do with your belt then? You don't have a champion. Your whole idea of building prestige in fighters is completely gone. So keep the belt on this guy and pretend something's going on. Pretend it's a drug test is why he lost. Pretend it's 3 pounds of the weight. If you were a champion, you wouldn't accept it if you thought you were going to lose. He needed the fight. He needed Garcia. So there isn't really a solution for you no matter what you want to do. If you want to run it back, run it back. It's going to be worse. Because if you run it back, you know he's not going to make the weight. He's already said he's not going to make 140. Run it back at 145. He's going to get murdered. There is no solution for it. But is what it is. It is what it is. It's cool to see people at least trying to talk about boxing and get involved in it. I love the arguments and everything. There's too much behind the scenes. And what's crazy is I think Ryan intentionally does a lot of this on purpose. I don't think it's as thoughtful as he made it out. Like Ryan was trying to act like, yeah, I told people I was drinking and I think he's really going and drinking because he's a young kid and he doesn't know what, he just wants some good friends around him and people keep doing him dirty. So he's just kind of angry at the world and he's having fun, and it is what it is. I hope his talent doesn't go to waste though. But I believe he intentfully put a lot of that information out to try to troll people, one, to bring publicity to it, which he totally did. If it wasn't Garcia in that fight, no one's watching that fight or talking about that fight. Then in addition to that, now I think that's being used against him after the fact because he completely dominated in such fabulous fashion that it's like, oh, you just made our champion, our undefeated guy, look like a scrub. It is what it is. So I you know, Noble, I don't know what to tell you, man. He didn't get the belt because he didn't make weight. So you got what you want there. He whooped Haney. You don't want to see him fight again, so I don't know what you want. If you overturn it, you're probably gonna have to take some of Haney's pay away. You sure you want to do that to him? You sure Haney wants to do that? Yeah. Anyways, y'all have a good one.